there lies a tale, hey, with Joshua Joseph's voice. And beside him Viking storm stays, they speak with no choice. From the deep and blackened waters, where the secrets wail and cry, they pull back forgotten covers, exposing the murky lies. What you hear cannot be unseen, a saga from the waves. Conspiracies unravel in the dark, as depths become our graves. They talk of ghostly whispers, an ancient treasure's call, with theories wrapped in shadows, the waters deep and all. The oceans hide their secrets well, but not from this dark crew. Joshua and Viking storm, they seek, they find what's true. What you hear cannot be unseen, a saga from the waves. Conspiracies unravel in the dark, as depths become our graves. The oceans hide their secrets well, but not from this dark crew. Joshua and Viking storm, they seek, they find what's true. What you hear cannot be unseen, a saga from the waves. Conspiracies unravel in the dark, as depths become our graves. As depths become our graves.
What is up, everybody? How are you doing? Window lickers, conspiracies at seas, any Viking captives that you have out there, any Luna followers, if you're out there, thank you for joining us and thank you for being a part of this wacky world that me, Viking, and Luna have. Well, I guess we've made it. I mean, we haven't made it like we're not officially there in the talks of everybody, but we made the show. Okay, guess I'm talking to myself over here. So how's everybody doing? How's life going for everybody else? And what is everybody up to nowadays? We are here, we are live. This is Conspiracies at Sea, and we are going to be discussing cloning tonight. So everybody get ready for that amazing feature and for some fun out there. Viking, Luna, how are you guys doing? I think I'm having some trouble getting Viking and Luna, hearing them coming through. So let me check what we got going on with the audio here. Viking, Luna, are you with us?
You got me?
Yes, we finally got you guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was answering you back that whole time.
Yeah, sorry about that. Little technical difficulties. We'll get that worked out here shortly. I'm fixing some things right now. So, how's it going, guys? How you doing? Sorry about that, but now you're here. You're
You're good. We're good.
in the show.
I've been good. Been playing a lot of different new games this week. That's what I've been doing.
Well, good for you, Viking. Just big
Yeah.
old gamer over there, just doing
Dude, yeah, no,
gaming.
I've been having fun with Days Gone. I've been playing that on my PC for a bit. Been having a blast with that. Plus, Sam Witwer is one of my favorite actors because Darth Maul. Um, and then I've been playing, ironically, Star Wars Outlaws a lot, which is a lot of fun to me. I get people didn't like that game, but I've been having a blast with it. I like the aspect of living in the Star Wars world. It's a lot of fun. I
No, I
mean, right
got
now I'm on Tatooine. I just had to meet Jabba the Hutt, and I'm in actually. He dropped me into the pit,
oh,
like in
well,
his palace. Like I'm in his palace right now, and he just dropped me into the pit beneath with that little bun thing he does. Yeah, and
well, be
and I got to see Boba Fett. I had to crawl through a vent, and I looked to my left, and there's Boba Fett taking contracts, talking on a holodeck. That was pretty cool.
ah, taking contracts, huh? That's usually what old Bubba Fett does over there. He's a bounty hunter. We all love him. He's actually, I would say, he's probably one of the most beloved characters of
Absolutely, dude.
the Star Wars franchise.
Did you watch the season of Boba Fett? It was pretty good.
No, I tend to not watch anything that Disney puts out.
Mando's actually good
Yeah, sure,
because it's not Disney fucking controlled so much.
as they say, sure.
More John Favreau has full plans over it.
Favreau, Schmavreau. That's how I feel. If it's not swingers, I ain't watching it, baby. Yeah, so there we are. We are into the swing of it. This is conspiracies at sea, like I said earlier, and like Viking was responding to, but I'm a dummy and didn't even have them added to the scene. But now he
Yeah,
is.
I was like, I'm not even. I don't think I'm even in this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I named producer of this show last week? I don't think
I
so.
know exactly.
Hmm. So looks like we'll have to have a production meeting after the show. So that'll be exciting. Luna will get her first not a good job there, Luna. But we still like her. We'll still keep her around because she is our young Jamie of the group.
It's okay. I don't think Luna's on the stage either because I didn't hear a word you said through the mic.
I think she's muted.
Yep, you're muted too. Not just muted on there. I can see a little red line through that, but you're muted. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too, but you're still not on the stage thing.
Yeah, she is.
I don't hear you.
She's added to the stage. I don't know what's not picking up on her end.
I dropped the mic.
She dropped the mic. Well, it's always fun.
Yeah, I can hear you next to me, but I can't hear you like.
Oh, we already got Grun chiming in. I thought, oh, you stupid Joshua bitch. Brr, brr.
Maybe
Grun
don't
is
highlight me
drunk.
tonight.
So good for Grun. He's out there
John's
just
drinking.
drinking his life away. Maybe don't highlight me tonight.
Oh,
J-j.
you already fucked.
Yeah, Grun, you've already responded to the show, so therefore
Yeah.
it's free game on you. And in free game, what we're talking about tonight, guys, Viking, why don't you let the fans know since this is your week and we're gonna get into your subject.
Yeah. So randomly, cloning is what we're doing because I seen that article and I'm gonna use that article. Cloning is becoming such a bigger thing nowadays that it's overlooked quite a bit, though. It
True.
really is. It's not really focused a whole lot anymore. And I think it needs a lot more focus back onto it because there's so many cloning things happening. Like for example, earlier this year, they aren't really what they're trying to make them. Dire wolves are not extinct anymore because they make clones of them. They're not true dire wolves, but it is what they did earlier this year. My favorite part about that is that they used the Game of Thrones throne to do pictures with the puppies.
Mm,
And it looks really cool with them crawling over the throne, like sitting at sleeping. It's really cool.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's definitely a trick they do to get all the people who jack off to Game of Thrones to be all about this.
No, Peter Jackson offered it actually because he just bought it at an auction. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to use this?" Because he's a part owner in the cloning for it.
Yeah, so
He invested in it.
they got to get everybody on board with it. So why not fucking put it in something that's been one of the most popular things of the past 12
No,
years?
they just did it for a photo shoot. They were like, "Here, might as well." And plus, direwolves were in the show, so You say
Oh,
20 years. That
I
was like
know. That's what
20
I'm
years.
saying. They're using it as propaganda to make it an okay thing. I'm not okay with this bullshit.
Grun, that's the subject we're talking about. They aren't clones. They aren't. Well, they are clones, but they're not the true direwolves. They're just clones. That's like Jurassic Park isn't real dinosaurs. They're clones. Duh.
Yeah, that's true. But the Velociraptor still fucking attacked everybody like they would have done back in the day.
I
A T
mean, do
Rex
you think
still
of
fucking
do,
ate a
do
dude off a
you do
porta
you
potty.
do you think, oh, this isn't the same banana? Yeah, because it's not. They're all clones. Every banana you eat is a clone, actually, the original.
Well, every piece of corn you eat's a clone, also.
Uh,
Corn
no.
is not a corn is not a natural thing. It was genetically modified.
Well, yeah.
So therefore it has to be the clone of all a bunch of the start of the genetically modified fucking thing that we eat. I love corn.
Was
I
it? Is it corn or is it bananas that kind of started that?
I don't know. I think
I
that
really do not know. That's going to actually be Luna's department because
yes.
she's going to handle the food
Yeah.
side of it.
Okay, so Viking, tell them
Yeah.
what all topics we're gonna hit
Yes,
inside the world of
I'm
cloning.
going to handle the animal side of it and look into that. Luna's going to be handling the food production side of it and what it's done in the food industry, and you're going to be handling you explain what your side of it is.
Mine's gonna be more like the entertainment, the human side, the conspiracy side of cloning, where it's going, what they're doing with it, and that'll be more so in my section of it. Think of Alex Jones getting ready to tell you a beautiful bedtime story about cloning and where the fuck we're going with that.
Even more retarded though. Got it.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, oh, you rascal! I wish I still had that drop.
Oh, you
Uh,
don't have it anymore?
no, I since we
What?
switched over to this, I have to figure something else out for that.
I
But we
need
do
that
have
audio
Nick.
clip back.
We we'll get it back. We have Nick Tiardero coming in saying, "Josh, I would not clone. You are one of." Get the fuck out of here, Nick. You fucking weirdo. Anyway, so it seems like our fans are a bunch of drunks and they're just getting on here and typing up whatever they feel. So we love that, especially Grunmeister and Nick, fans of ours who've been here multiple times. But Viking Storm, why don't you figure out who you want to kick it off with, and let's
Luna
jump into it.
actually should kick it off, maybe. Unless you have something queued up and ready to go, because you seem like you're ready.
Oh, dude, I'm always ready.
If you want to do your side, let's
No,
do that. Luna here needs a little bit more time, I think, looking this stuff up. I don't know.
okay. All
So
right.
why don't you go ahead and dive into yours? Because we'll do the more. Yours is more the conspiracy side of this subject.
Okay, so all right, fans. So since we do have some drinkers in the audience, we'll get you the crazy side out there because, well, you guys are a bunch of savages and we know what you want. So we'll get that out there before you guys pass out from your stupor. All right, folks. So buckle up because we're diving into a deep and murky, shadowy, downright diabolical world of cloning in the entertainment industry. I'm going to lay it all out for you guys here.
But first, you should probably roll the disclaimer out.
Oh, very good. You know what? I just worked my ass off on getting this,
Mhm.
and we didn't even do this. So, fans, before we dive into it balls deep, I'm going to hit you with one of our oldies, but a new one over here because, well, we are on a new platform. So let's get that fired up. Here we go.
Disclaimer. The theories and opinions discussed on this podcast are for entertainment and informational purposes only. They are strictly speculative and should not be taken as factual or authoritative. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not represent established facts or expert consensus. Listener discretion is advised!
All right, fans. So there's the disclaimer. We can't be held
You know,
liable for anything
I
we
just gotta
say.
say, listener discretion is advised has never been said so hard before. Other than that,
Yeah,
like you can't get harder of trying to say listener discretion is advised than that.
that's pretty true. I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, fans, like we were talking about, I'm going to lay it all out for you, the raw and unfiltered, just like I see it, because the truth is out there, and I am the godfather of truth, and here to let you see what I see behind the scenes of the Hollywood sets. Um, this is no conspiracy, no tinfoil hat. This is me and my utter truth of what I think's happening. It's the raw deal. I'm going to scream it from the rooftops until everybody hears me or until the three-letter agencies take me out. So now let's get into the one thing in the entertainment industry, Hollywood, for example, the music business, the whole celebrity circus that they got out there. It has been playing fast and loose with the science, ethics, and the fabric of human existence for years. Cloning, folks. Cloning is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm giving you right now, and it really has. In the past years, the idea of cloning has been coming up uh, a lot, especially in the
Hmm.
entertainment world. There's a lot of people that at the top of the game right now. Katy Perry being one of them, who's been linked to possibly being a clone of herself. Um,
Well, you know the most famous one though is one of the most famous people in the world, which is Walt Disney.
that's
There
true.
was I was gonna say, is this in your little
I mean,
entertainment tidbit?
he's got there's a quite a few theories about Disney. There's
There's a lot of
cloning,
Disney.
the cloning theory, which I don't subscribe to that with him. I'm more of a he got himself frozen,
Yeah.
just because I think at that time I don't think the cloning was a big thing. Um, I mean, it could have been because our the Nazi Germany
I
was
was gonna
trying
say
to do
Nazi Germany
cloning.
was.
Disney was linked to having ties with the Nazi Germany. Um, so yeah, in those ways, I guess I could see that part, but I feel he did the cryogenical stuff because I don't think they had anything like down in the cloning science yet, and their cryogenical stuff I think had more science that was believable at the time, if any
I'm
of
on
that
the
makes sense.
Yeah, I'm on the same path with you about that. I
Okay.
really do think he did the cryogenic thing, the cloning thing, because it's not really overall like highlighted with him. It really isn't. It's more of like brushed off to the side because if you notice it when it's brought up, nobody really is like, oh yeah, that totally was a thing. They more or less do the cryogenics thing.
Yeah.
They've done the
Yeah.
cryogenics thing is more like what it falls back to every single time. I did not know Grun had a new picture though. I like that picture, Grun. I do
Yeah,
like
I
that.
do like his new
I like
logo.
your new. It's more of like it looks like street art.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
Grun.
that. That looks cool. I like that more than your old logo looked more like a you don't do it anymore, but like a Call of Duty gamer. That's what it reminded me of. It looks like a Call of Duty gamer logo. Your old one, it really did. But this one, I like. That's way cooler. I do like that new Grundmeister.
Grun saying thanks AI.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one's pretty
AI
cool,
made
Grun.
that for him. Yeah, I agree with you on the Grun's new logo.
Yeah,
Um,
like that one's
he's
better.
really coming into his own. Um, Speaking of coming into his own, um, we're not going to clone Grun. So,
We
uh,
don't need more than one petty picture out there.
exactly, exactly. So this is just not something out there in sci-fi flicks anymore. It's happening right under our noses, and they're all laughing all their way to the bank. The globalist elites, the shady cabals running Tinseltown. They've got their hands on technology advanced. It makes it so advanced that it makes Area 51 look like Radio Shack had a clearance sale. Um, it's getting ridiculous, like in the amount of stuff that they're capable of doing and using, and we are discussing straightforward cloning, but the fact that this brought up the technology and stuff that's behind everything. we're looking at the fact that are stargates. There's people right now on like permanent DMT trips in which they're getting a DMT drip just dripped into them, and they're doing studies on where they go, uh, because it's gotten to the point that the research into things like DMT um, has gotten beyond research. They know what it does, and they know that if you take certain quantities of it, that there is interstellar dimension travel in which they are communicating with these alien. I'm only calling them alien because I don't know what they look like, and they are not from here. So when I say
So
alien,
unknown. You should say unknown then.
yeah, yeah, I guess I should, but I also think that you guys listening should understand where
I
we're
mean,
coming
alien piques
from.
more people's attention.
But
So
okay, so exactly it does, and to me it's true because it's the unknown, not here,
mhm.
so that is alien to us. Uh, what the fuck? Hold on, Grun's in there.
Just ignore Grud.
He's
Just let
saying,
Grud
"Thank you,
go.
Josh. I want more beer. Ignore me." Okay, so yes, we're in the fact that the technology they're using, a Stargate, is capable of going into another dimension and peering in. It's a looking glass. There's another one you should look up. Look up Project Looking Glass, Project Stargate, and these are just the main featured ones. There's other ones that go into actual cases and actual like numbers and things like that. And when you get into those, you know that you're getting deep, and it's recorded stuff from our own government itself, our military, and things like that. Um, here we come to a point though where the technology that we don't know is more scary than the ones that we do know. So even if I'm sitting here spieling off all this stuff and it sounds crazy, to me though, what I'm not talking about or what I'm not imagining, they have already imagined it, and
Right.
they've already done some things with it. So that's what kind of scares me a little bit. I got a message here from Luna for the editor's box. I don't know if you can get a hold of her and figure out what it is she's wanting me to look at. Anyways, we'll keep moving forward with this. Um, so because they can when you're a cash cow, uh, and you don't let it die. If you can find something and somebody who's influential, and that's where I believe this cloning goes into the entertainment.
Trying to keep somebody who's influential alive and around longer.
Exactly. And yeah, you know exactly where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Like it's to a point that if you can have somebody who is captivating to an audience, and
Is a
they
cash cow.
exactly, that's exactly right. You're that cash cow, so why not uh, be over there? Why not try to keep that going, keep your money coming in, because once that money dries up, it's harder to restart that and try to figure out that influence again. Yes, do I think that a majority of the people are just sheep and they will follow it? Yes, just like we did with
Yeah.
this. Oh, I put the sheep in there because that's what I think will happen, and plus it gives a little nod to the original cloning that we
I
found
was
out
gonna
about.
say,
Yeah,
speaking of, that's what we started with for animals was cloning sheep. That's what
exactly.
they did. That's where they started originally with all this. Of all like the direwolf thing. Direwolves wouldn't have happened. The what I'm gonna be talking about wouldn't have happened, and we are getting closer and closer to that actual Jurassic Park thing. Like it's getting closer. Like Jurassic Park isn't could it happen? It's when will it happen now? It's happening.
Totally
It
agree with
really
you.
is.
So, fans, here's how it works. And don't you dare look away because this is going to blow your fucking mind. So, they take a star. a real A-lister, someone like let's say Beyonce or Tom Cruise, and they don't just milk their talent for all it's worth. No, 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 no. They go deeper than that. They get into the DNA. That's right. They're snipping and splicing genes like it's a craft project at a globalist summer camp, and they're just ready to win the top prize for their fucking lodge, and they're ready to go. This is what's happening, people. They're finding these little things in your DNA that make you you, that make you special, that make you maybe something that people listen to. And they're taking that and they're splicing it out of that gene and they're putting it into clones. So as they're doing this, why are they doing that? Because these stars, like we were saying, they're cash cows. You don't want to let them die because if you let that die, you lose the money. You clone it. You make the perfect copy, same look, same voice, same charisma, and you keep that money train rolling forever. If you think I'm making this up, look at the evidence. Here's have you noticed some celebrities don't age? Keanu Reeves, Paul Rudd, Jennifer Lopez. They're out there looking like they've drinking from the fountain of youth while the rest of us age like expired milk. That's not Botox, folks. That's cloning technology. They're rolling out fresh versions of these stars every few years, tweaking the formula to keep them young, vibrant, and ready to churn out another blockbuster after chart topping hit. And if you're questioning me on this, I understand that. But go and look at it. Jennifer Lopez looked like this when I first seen her, and that
I'd say
was
J
in
Lo is
in
one I could
living
agree with.
color. In living
Oh, she
color,
does
she
look
looked
like
like
when she
this.
was the backup dancer back then, doesn't she? She kind of does still look the same.
And you're telling me that's fucking Botox? You're telling me there's a fucking guy out there who can craft up somebody who's a plastic surgeon that well?
I
I mean, come
So
on.
are you going to tell me then that Ben Affleck was married to a clone over and over and over?
Why what you're making it seem like Ben Affleck is like fucking Mensa. That
Who?
fucking retard
Who the
would
fuck
fall
is
for
Mensa? I don't know who Mensa is.
Mensa's like one of the genius programs. I'm saying Ben Affleck's a fucking idiot. So yes, I could see him. I could see him banging a plastic bag year after year and getting divorces from it. So yeah, I mean this guy's a fucking dummy. Ben Affleck's a moron. Yeah, I could see him doing that. And plus, Ben Affleck wants stardom and wants fame so bad, he would be willing to do any of that stuff. I have no like of Ben Affleck. Reindeer Games. I guess I liked
I'll say
Reindeer
Reindeer
Games.
Games was a good movie though.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I,
That's
I
about it.
I'm not gonna lie, I like The Accountant. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say to you right now, Viking.
I
I
don't
I
like him as
just
Batman. That was the
well,
one
he
thing
was
that he
horrible as
ruined.
Batman.
He
He was.
was, other than the fighting scenes were pretty good. That was about it. I just like see the darker Batman of don't take shit and break your fucking leg was the version I like seeing. That's the only thing I liked about him doing Batman was he went to the dark side of it. He really did, and then they let that play out, and they should. That's how it should be. Is Batman breaks a fucking arm? That's nothing was out of the cartoons or comics, and they finally incorporated that.
I agree with you, man.
Hell, if you haven't seen, I'm not gonna lie. What's his name? The Twilight dude who did the Batman movie. That one is actually pretty fucking good.
Stop.
It is. It's good. It's so good. I like it. It's the darker version. Riddler is an asshole and he's killing people. Like I liked it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get back into cloning before you give me an aneurysm. Um. All right. So don't even get me started on the music
Doing my
industry.
job.
Don't even get me started on the music industry. You ever wonder why some artists have vanished for a while and then come back looking, oh, I don't know, different? Like they've got the same name, same sound, but something's off. That's because the original might have burned out, OD'd, or God forbid, tried to spill the beans on the whole operation. So what do the elites do?
Hold on. I'm gonna bring you a person that you weren't expecting for this. Randy Orton, Survivor Series, when he came back.
I'm drawing a blank.
Are you really trying to blank? He was a skinny little dude. He came back as a beast.
That's steroids.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of dirty bulking otherwise.
See, fans, if you haven't noticed, Viking's going to shoehorn wrestling into this, and
No, it's just the first person that came to mind though
he
when you said when they come back.
always does it, guys.
Fuck you. Shut up.
Every episode,
No, it's not.
he will fucking hip toss a wrestling term in there, and I love him for it. That's why we
I
well,
also
that's
like
why,
just throwing you off and giving you something else to think about.
yeah. When I'm trying to do a goddamn show on cloning, you want to throw me off of the
It's the
subject.
one that came to mind though was that part was he came back looking way different. A lot of wrestlers have.
Yeah, but I mean, in that industry,
You know Vince McMahon would do it.
he would do it, but he would also just give him a bunch of steroids because it was easier.
Well, he'd do both though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. In the sports world and shit like that, I would assume if they were able to do that, guys would have had way longer careers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
so I don't know, but I mean, it's definitely something to look into.
it is.
Um, so that's because the original might have OD'd, burned out, or God forbid, tried to spill the beans on the whole operation. So what do the elites do? They fire up the cloning VAPs, whip up a new version, and send them back out to perform like nothing happened. Look at Tupac. People still swear he's alive, dropping holograms at Coachella. You think that's just fancy tech? Wake up, sheeple. That's clone. That's a clone, or at least the prototype for what they're testing out to see how far they can push it. Now let's talk about the tech itself. This is this isn't your grandma's dolly sheep cloning from the 90s where they're taking next level black budget DARPA funded madness. Word on the street, and by street I mean dark corners of the X platform where real truthers hang out, is that they're got an underground labs, probably under Hollywood Hills or some secret soundstage where they're growing these clones in tanks. They're using CRISPRs, nanotechnology, and who knows uh, what else to churn out perfect replicas of your favorite stars. They can even program these clones with memories, mannerisms, everything down to the way they tilt their heads in an interview. It's like Westworld, but real, and it's happening right now. And if you are questioning what I'm saying to you right now, I would like you to get on the Googles or the DuckDuckGos, whatever you prefer, whatever makes you feel like a warm and safe window licker. And I want you to look up China's CRISPR technology. And I want you to look into that, and then you tell me if I'm making shit up, if I'm just being a conspiracy nut job. And you let us know. You know, there's places for you to drop messages. There's places for you to go. We have a Discord where you can go and say any questions from any of the shows that we put out there. But yeah, that's where we're at. Have you ever heard of the CRISPR technology, Viking?
No, I may have heard that term, but I'm not sure if I know a lot about it.
Okay, so it's technology in which you can make the genes of an embryo anything you want.
Well, that's like so you mentioned that. So the funny thing is that's where I've heard it before. Because I had to look it up quick. China is working on cloning pandas because they make themselves extinct. That was one thing I heard about, and I remember is that they were working on trying to clone pandas
Yeah.
because well, pandas are not the smartest creature in the fucking world, and they extinct themselves all the time. People don't know this, but a lot more panda deaths have happened accidentally more than you think because pandas are well, they're big babies. and they need babysitter. Have you ever seen the videos of pandas in a zoo? They need a babysitter 24/7. You know what videos I'm talking about. They're hilarious to watch, but they need babysitters because these dumbasses kill themselves.
I like
They're like the
crazy.
dodo bird version of a bear. I
We
mean,
have we have crazy grunt in the chat going off
they
about
don't know how to
China.
fuck. They actually don't. That's true too. They have to be in breeding programs because they don't know how to reproduce. They don't have that aspect of breeding. They don't. They don't get like horny and like they're like they're just like we exist.
Grun's letting us know pandas in the wild don't know how to fuck. That's what I'm hearing here, Grun. Viking Storm letting us know that
Yeah,
that is a truth bomb there. So that's good to know. That's good to know.
yeah.
So
So that's been one of China's main cloning things is pandas. They've been trying to get that in
yeah.
development, having that going because they've been cloning a lot of different things. I believe they had something to do with the sheep program big time actually.
Well, and honestly, if we're gonna dive into that moment, uh, the your own people, the Vikings, um, they were originally part of the Crispers way back in the day because when they would go into a village, they would rape, pillage, take everything, do
Mhm.
all that. But what they were doing is they were finding the women who could bear their children. So they were selecting um, women who were able to bear some of their children, um, which is a kind of a caveman way of what the Chinese are doing right now with the CRISPRs. And also, I can even go further into that. The doctor who developed this technology over in China, he was able to do it, and then they passed a law to where he couldn't do it, and they locked him up for I believe 4 years, and then let him out, and he's back at it again. And the reason why was because I think it was either the UN or some other organization that's a world police bullshit fucking hand job where we just give them money. Um, they were going after China for it. So China, being the sneaky little fuckers they are, they said, you know what? We're going to show you something really cool, and we're going to put them in jail. And they put him in jail for a couple of years, and then everybody forgot about it. And then they were like, "Come on, you rascal, get out here and keep doing what you were doing." And in turn, what Grunt is saying, the super soldiers, that is exactly where they're trying to go with it. It's the old play of Hitler's Germany. They were also trying to create the super soldier, and using this technology. China just has it now, and they are advancing it very well, to be honest. We're about to see some big O Asians coming out of China at some point. And
Like the Nazi breeding program, but China.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see what Grun's saying in our chat because he's our lively guy out there right now. China imprisoned him because the other countries found out. Exactly. See,
Yep.
even drunk Grun knows what the fuck I'm talking about. So let's jump back into it. But here's the kicker, folks. The moral decay, they're not just cloning bodies, they're cloning souls, or at least trying to. They're messing with the divine spark, the essence of what makes us human, all to keep their uh, decadent empire running. It's an abomination, a slap in the face to the creator. Whatever made us, whatever brought us to existence, to knowledge, to consciousness, it's basically just a spit in their face, and it's happening while we're distracted by the latest Netflix binge, the award show spectacular. They want us docile, consuming, and blind to the fact that the people we idolize might not even be people anymore. So what do? It's plain and simple. We fight back. We expose this. We do shit that we're doing right now. We share the truth on X. We spread the word. We don't let the mainstream media gaslight us into thinking that this shit doesn't exist. We demand transparency when we're talking crazy or that person's crazy in what they're thinking. Um, and the more we do this, and the more time that it goes by with us collecting more people doing this, at the end of the day it will fall, it will end, we will overcome, and we'll be way more powerful than whatever they can come up with. So fans, window lickers, this is me, the voice, Joshua Joseph, giving you my portion of the cloning episode. And I'm ready to talk.
You can tell you're ready to talk about it. This is
Oh,
good
dude,
though. It's
you
good.
you
I
set
like
me
no,
on a
I
tangent.
like hearing about it. Um, okay, I know we are pointed out before, but Katy Perry, I don't think she's a clone because really, what cash cow is she anymore? She wastes her
Uh,
life on fucking American Idol, and I'm sorry. When's the last time you heard music from her?
she doesn't have to do new music. She's got a residency out in Vegas.
Oh,
So
that's why.
people pay shit tons of money to
Got
see
you. So
her.
she's doing
Yeah.
shows, so never mind. So yeah, but yeah, okay, she could be a cash cow that way. Never mind. I could see that.
I mean, but I see what you're saying. She's not at the level she was.
She's not anymore. She's a repeat now in the radio. So
Yeah. So at that
I was
point,
just thinking that because I mean, like, did she lose that Grun? Grun, if you know that, go ahead and look it up, Grun. You find that out. But because I mean, yeah, all she's doing now is next to Luke Bryan and what the fuck's his name? I don't remember who's on that show. Anyways, that's
I
what they
don't
do
either.
nowadays, and she's not earning any fucking real money. She's being
Yeah.
paid to host a show. That's what
No,
all the has-beens do nowadays that can't do shit.
uh
Struggling to sell tickets.
oh, so she didn't lose it. See, Gron? But I
I mean,
like where you're at,
but
my friend.
okay, again though, again, what money is she gonna really earn then if they're struggling to sell tickets? She's not a cash cow anymore. She's kind of a nobody anymore.
Is she though? Because she has a platform. We can say all we want about this sending women into space stunt that her and Jeff Bezos and the rest of the dingbat squad
Oh, the
fucking
one they all
did.
faked. Yeah.
Yes, but at the end of the day, look how many people bought shit about it. Look how many people were out there talking about it and how empowering it was for women. See, that's the trickery. And that's where I get really pissed off, and that's the wrestling rub that you can get. You know, when you're working heel, it's your job to get people pissed off at you. And when you're
Mm-hmm.
working face, it's your job to get everybody on your side. So when you're in a world like Katy Perry, in which no matter what you do, you're going to have that both sides. You're going to have people who love it, and you're going to people who absolutely just hate it because it's you. That's like the ultimate you can work. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
you can dab into both sides and get the reaction that you want. And that's what she did. Her and Jeff Bezos and all those other got the reaction of people like me and others who were like, "Hey, fuck this. This is bullshit. This is fake. This is just nonsense. This is a publicity stunt." And then there's people who are like, "That was so empowering. That really made me feel like a woman." What is a
I don't
woman?
get what
I
this was
couldn't
supposed to be
tell you.
empower them about. Like, I want to know what this was supposed to be empowering about. Like, what? Like, what? They went up in supposedly went up into space, came back down. Ooh, you got to do a stunt. Big fucking deal.
Yeah. Well, what empowers a woman?
What's empowering about that between that and going and taking a ride on a Ferris wheel? Is there a difference? Fuck no. It's the same damn thing. You went for a ride. There's no empowering
Exactly.
going on there. Like, what empowers you? I want to know.
I mean, that's to me, that's just as silly as hearing the excuse of Victoria's Secrets and women saying, "Oh, I go there for myself." The fuck if you do. Shut the fuck up. If you did that for yourself, you would just go to Walmart or Target and pick up whatever they have. That is designed to make you attractive to the opposite sex.
Aw.
That's what it's designed for, because men are visual creatures. That's all they are. We're retarded, and it's okay, because at the end of the day, that's what we're designed to be. So the fact that Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos and all those others got together and was like, this is what's going to empower women today, shows how out of fucking touch they are. And which, to me, people like that, who are that out of touch, they don't have that divine spark. They don't have that human nature to them. So they do dumb shit like this in a clone like manner. That's where I'm at with it. That's why I'm specifically bringing up Katy Perry in the clone talk.
Okay.
I heard your voice, like, okay, I get what the fuck he's talking about.
Good Luna. Yeah, I get what you're talking about. Yeah, just I hate Hollywood day by
I do
fucking
too.
day.
I do
It's
too.
so stupid. All the stupid shit they do just for fucking. Look at us. Like, I still don't get the point of the whole. Let's do this whole fake ass. Like, what did they? I mean, I know it maybe. What did they try to distract us from? The riots? That didn't even happen yet.
No, the riots are a distraction. Also,
Well, yeah,
there
but
was
I'm not getting into that. No, don't you dare. No,
no. I'm
no.
not. I'm not getting there. There's quite a few things that are going on right now, and the distractions are uh, the riots. It's the still people trying to get the abortion thing talked about every moment they possibly can. And a lot of the division you see going on right now. There's quite a few people who have just been indicted for Jan 6 stuff. And I'm not talking about rioting, I'm talking about covering shit up. There's also a lot of Tim Walz, the governor of what is that, Minnesota?
Yeah,
Uh,
Tim and
you
Tim.
you do know that manifesto was released, right?
Yeah, I seen that.
And you know who's in it, right?
I don't remember.
Tim. He has been that the guy who wrote the manifesto and did the killings said that Tim Walz asked him to take her out, to kill her, so he could have her seat.
Oh,
The,
Scammel Harris.
yeah, the guy who ran with Kamala.
Oh, I didn't know about this. No, I don't know anything about the manifesto that was released.
Yeah. So there's, like you said though, it's these things are thrown out for the distraction so people don't see that. Like, why
Oh,
isn't that the guy who just ran for the potential of being vice president is having these fucking wackos go around and fucking take out people who are trying to do common sense? If you look at that woman and her husband, the reason why they were fucking targeted was because they were going against the Democratic uh, playbook. They said, I'm fucking done. That doesn't make sense. That's not helping our constituents. And as soon as they did that, boom, you're out.
okay. So this will be next week's episode. So let's stop talking about this.
So I guess we're going to look into
I
political
would love to do that for
assassinations
next week.
next
If you're
week.
down for that one for next week, that sounds fun.
Political assassinations next week,
Yes,
fans. So let's
yes.
get into it. Yes, Grun, it actually said it. Anything that I'm saying, fans, from here on out, and I know I've said this a million times, I welcome you to Google it. We do play a disclaimer. We do that to keep our dicks and our vagins out of the fire. So why we just do that to make sure we cover our asses. But what I am telling you, you can factually look up. So I'm done off my soapbox. I got to go back and get some Gatorade. So let someone else take over.
Yeah. Luna, would you like to talk about your side of things?
Sure. Can everybody hear me?
I cannot hear you through the mic. I do not hear you whatsoever through my
Yeah,
headphones.
uh, Luna, you might have to check your settings and then go into your audio and see what mic is coming through. And if any of them have default on them, you have to click it over to the right one.
Wait, did you just plug your headphones and talk? Yeah, I can hear myself now. That was your problem.
Ah,
Hello?
Talk.
Hello?
Yeah,
yeah, we can hear you
that was
now.
your problem.
It must be my cord actually, because I have corded headphone and I had to move it, so
I heard it.
I might need a new headphone.
Oh, Viking, get on that.
Oh, this ain't my thing. I told her to get a new headset a while ago.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I pretty much let AI figure out what the hell I was going to talk about, so there's that. So I'm going to be talking about the positive aspects of food and plant cloning. So a lot of it is consistency and quality. Um, Really, it's more or less farmers can rely on consistent output. They can produce a lot more, um, which obviously people are really crazy with it.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of the times too, it looks like research and innovation. Cloning really allows researchers to study the plant genetics with fewer variables. So it's more scientific control and bioengineering. And then I also kind of looked up what are the most common ones that we eat that are clones that I didn't even realize. Well, I knew that bananas
Mhm.
were cloned. Um, Wine grapes for like Chardonnay and things like that. I didn't know that.
In California, they do a lot of cloning of grapes there for their production.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
can't hear you
weird
with that.
because they have grape farms.
I'm sorry. I will say that again. In California, they do a lot of production for grapes for wine.
Yeah.
I'm muted because so I don't double talk.
No, I heard you, but I could hear how other people couldn't hear
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that blows my mind, honestly, because I'm thinking like they have grape farms and shit like that, and it's like you would think the
You gotta
wine
look at
industry.
COVID though, and plus it's this time of season when it's supposed to be in season, and they're not, and so they had to do something about that.
Mm.
That's what a lot of it was. Because I think strawberries became a clone thing as well.
Um, well, there's a lot of fruits there. Yeah, strawberries, blueberries, pineapples, peaches, plums, cherries, pears, apples, and even a lot of vegetables too.
So there you go. If you don't know it, you may have already eaten a clone vegetable or fruit and not even known it
Well, if
because
you
it
shop
was
at
at the
Walmart,
time.
you are.
Oh yeah, but it was at the time. It was because it was production. I think COVID had a lot to do with it too. Um, there was a lot of seasonal production that they couldn't get done for grocery stores, so they did a lot of cloning.
All over the flu, ladies and gentlemen.
There's even grains, vegetables and herbs, um, coffee. It's cloned for resistance and consistency.
Say that again.
Coffee. It's cloned for resistance, disease resistance, and consistency.
Oh, I can see disease being a thing. The reason why you clone because something that would have a certain thing. Yeah,
But in coffee, like some of the biggest beans have been through shit.
I know.
Animals have shit them out, and they're like, "Oh, this is the precious bean."
I know. I know what you're talking about. That one coffee. Yeah, they're like they shit these out, and then that's how they get the coffee from them. Like, I don't want
Get
that.
the fuck out of here
I
with
don't want
that.
that. Fuck. It's like $300-400 cups of coffee.
It's like the guy who's like, "You eat nerds out of one stripper's butthole. You got pink eye for life."
So when did you get pink eye?
I never have.
Uh,
I wear goggles.
Got those little $2 fucking
I
swimmer
can't
goggles.
I can't reveal all my secrets.
Yeah, you
Like,
got those $2 swimmer goggles from Dollar General with the little those shitty rubber bands on them, man. I hate those fucking
you
things.
wish. I'm sponsored by Oakley.
Got ski goggles on them?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
God.
Taste the rainbow.
Let Luna get back to her shit. God damn, Viking.
I
You're supposed to keep us on
thought you
track.
were gonna go get Gatorade.
No, I got a drink here. It's a delicious one.
Oh, Jesus. Well, with cloning, they don't just, a lot of the times they graft things. So they use like
Okay.
the tissue from it. It's like a lot of the fruits they actually graft. Um, the reasons that they clone them, so like for apples, for any type like the Honeycrisp, the Fiji, the Gala, they want to maintain the flavor, the size, and the texture. So they really want to make it as equal as possible. Um, the pears, they do it to ensure the sweetness, shapes, textures. Cherries for the grafted, for the orchard production. Um,
Mm.
and they want the peaches and nectarines to be commercially uniform. So really, they just want to make everything exactly the same.
So they're actually trying to improve on it, though. It sounds like as well.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
I
Because
mean, so overall, though, like we said, though, is it being used for a good thing? It kind of is. I mean, cloning fruits and vegetables is being used, grains as well. It sounds like. So I'm guessing wheat's being, and corn, of course, but they're being re-cloned. So that's a good thing, though. It's all used for a good thing. But the thing is, though, still health wise, how does this look, though? Because
exactly.
I'm thinking health wise, like, is the wheat, healthy to, because what else is it mixed in with? What are these mix yourself mixed in with?
Well,
But we
and
don't.
and my mind goes to the problem that they had with the human side is getting that spark, that human nature, that thing that makes us human. So if you go into the food side, what's getting taken away from the cloning of that food? What nutrient is getting taken away? Because our consciousness, our our own thinking, our personality is what nurtures us. If you don't have a personality and you don't have things that make you human, how long can you survive as a human? And in which that's where my mind goes with the food.
Yeah.
So I have an answer to that. Um,
I love
there,
it.
the clone plants are perfectly fine to eat because they are genetically identical. They're not genetically modified. So they are exactly the same plant.
But
They're perfectly fine to eat.
It's
Luna,
still a
then
modified plant, though, if it's cloned.
yeah,
It's still modified.
I gotta go with the Tommy Boy defense on that. And I can take a box and take a shit in it and slap a guarantee on the outside of that
Still a
box,
box of
but it's
shit.
still a box of shit.
Yeah,
Like
he's got a fucking point.
like I get where you're coming from, and I love that you had an answer to that. But the fact of the matter is like, do we know? Do we know that that's what's happening? Because I I I don't know
At the
because
end of the day, it's still genetically modified.
it's food though. Like
But did you die?
No,
no,
Chow, I
but
didn't fucking die, but
no, but if we're going to be honest, what has
yeah.
happened in the past 40 years
Again,
with
we're
the
doing
health,
pros and cons of this.
yeah, the health of Americans we have become an obese nation.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that the cloning food, I'm pretty sure it's personal choice and we stop at a McDonald's anytime we get a chance, and just to, we don't, a, a guy I worked with down in Mississippi, he used to talk about stuff like this and he would say, and nowadays people don't eat to give themselves nutrition. They eat to fulfill a hunger.
Hmm.
And if we're not eating to give our body nutrients and things like that, but then Luna's saying that these scientists are saying that there's nothing different.
I
And
mean, if it's still providing the same nutrients and everything we need, I don't have a problem with it. If it's still doing the same job the fruit previously was supposed to do, then that's good.
yeah,
If
Luna,
it's
you
still
see,
doing the same job it's supposed to do as, take a apple that wasn't, modified, it's original, and then the clone. If that one is the same apple, I don't have a problem with it. I do not care. But if it is going to be something that's not properly done, then we do have to have a problem with it. But if it's not FDA approved, FDA has approved some things that still should be brought to the public. But
yeah,
if
if
it's
it's not,
approved, if it's healthy enough, if it's safe to eat, you know, yeah, then okay, it's all good. That's a pro.
so let me ask you real quick, Luna. Uh, you see where we're coming from, though, right?
Mhm.
Where we're asking these questions. I will say that instantly, once you started talking about apples, and then you started naming off all the apples, I was like, those are all the ones I love. Wait,
That's what I thought too.
yeah, I was like, wait, Gala? No,
Because exactly, you like more than one
Fiji?
kind of apple.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
but
are
here's
good apples too.
I was gonna say here's my argument though. It's the same genetics, it's the same nutrition. The FDA and even from Europe, they even approve of it. It's not modified, it's just a exact copy. So it still provides vitamins and
Okay.
minerals, proteins, sugars, and antioxidants. It's exactly the same. And even vitamin C. So like strawberries, they all have the same nutrition. So you're still you've been eating them for pretty much all of your life. You're still getting that nutrition.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
when did it start though with apples? Okay, if you have this right, do you know when this shit started? I want to know.
I want to know.
I'll have
I
to
want to
figure
know
that out.
now.
Yeah, if you got the information of it's all safe, I want to know when it started. When did they start cloning apples, grapes? I know it's been going on for a while, but I don't know the time it started. Such. I mean, if you think about it, is there really much of a difference between the clones anymore? Because they still rot the same, don't they? In your fridge, when that apple looks like it's a little rotted, it's a little mushy, and you can push it and it breaks open,
I
right? When
mean,
you test that apple side, you push on it, and that's the test. You push and see if the skin breaks.
well, yeah.
It still breaks the same, doesn't it?
If
Well, the things with apples specifically, what I heard is in production they put a wax on it to preserve it a little bit. But even way before that, the cloning has happened for thousands of years. Indigenous peoples in the Andres, like South America, Africa, and Asia, they're the ones that started doing that.
I mean, that's not cloning though. That's just regrowing a plant.
No, they
but
started cloning it.
it
They started doing the grafting and everything so they can
it's
produce more product.
it's primitive cloning.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
primitive
not the
cloning, but
cloning that we
it's
know,
not biological cloning.
but there. I mean, it's the starts of it. We
Yeah,
just our scientists have just taken it to a whole new
another
level
level.
in which that they're doing it on a mass scale.
Hmm.
Because I'll tell you this, coming from the country and be growing up next to somebody who had an apple orchard, I I could not tell you a fucking difference between that one and a Walmart one.
Yeah,
And
no,
so I kind of see where Luna's coming from with the science of it and saying that you're still getting the same nutritional
funny
value.
thing is, the more you think about it, if you go to Walmart, you look at all their fruits and veggies, they all look the exact same as the other one. Think about it. And then if you go to a different grocery store, they can, like, I guess a Whole Foods. I've never been to a Whole Foods, but I guess if you go to there, or Pick and Save or a Kroger, they're all different shapes and sizes. They're not all the same. I mean, when I go to Kroger, Pick and Save is right around the corner from us. When I go there and get food, we go to the veggie. We go there. Well, it's when you walk in. It's the veggie and fruit section is right there, and we usually get what we need. And now that I think about it, a lot of it is different size. It's not all the same. There's so many different shapes and sizes of each one. But you go to Walmart, the shit all looks the exact same copycat of the other one.
Well,
If you think
yeah.
about it.
I mean, at the end of the day, Walmart has it locked down on
Oh
the
yeah, I'm
psychological.
I'm not surprised that they'd
Well,
be doing the
they
whole
got the
clone thing.
psychological end of shopping to a science.
Yeah.
Excuse me. If you've never, I've worked there, And
So bad.
your first couple days, well then you know this. Your first couple days are those videos that they show you from the
Hmm.
start of Sam and where he took it from
I
the
vaguely
farmers
remember that
market.
video, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
then they go into the process of it. It's all a science in there for them. So, what Luna's talking about with the modifications of sizes and making them uniformed and everything, it makes sense. Now, where I get into I'm not a fan of this cloning food is when you get into the meats.
Nope.
And
Nope. Not a fan of that.
yeah, well, Walmart is one of them that
Yep.
has been known that
I
there's
think the meat sucks there.
yeah, it's not as good. I mean,
No,
I
bro. I mean, in my hometown, dude, you didn't go to Walmart. You went to Festival. You went to Festival Foods. You go there or Aldi's, and you get meat from there
yeah.
because Festival Foods all day is more local, and their steaks are amazing. But
Well, they
you don't go
ran
to Walmart.
the town that I used to go to my favorite meat shop, St. Clair's. And if anybody out there has any association with this family, please let them know. I dearly miss their meat shop. It was my favorite thing in the summertime to go to. I am so sad that this town ran your family out of there. You guys did amazing work. Everybody who worked there was just one of the nicest people I've ever met. And you guys helped out so many small community projects going on in that town. I am deeply saddened that you guys were ran out of town.
Damn,
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it was my
dude,
favorite meat
rip.
place.
Yeah, I know what
Everybody,
you mean, bro.
everybody who worked there dressed like a mafia person. They had a bow
Bro,
tie and one of those mafia hats. Dude, it was one of the best fucking places I've ever been to get meats.
I got one of those back in my hometown. They're called Unity Meats, and because is it Unity Meats or what's it called? Is it Unity? I can't remember what town they're based off of. But they're a local one, and they became bigger and bigger now. They are one where you could stop in there. They have their meats. You can get a full on lunch done there, dude. Like full, completely lunch, and it's expensive, I'll admit. But they have custom meats though. Like they have Philly cheesesteak broths, and they're
Yeah,
fucking amazing.
same
They
place.
do different broths like that, dude. They do a Bloody Mary one, which is a little spicy, but it's good. They do all these different kinds of meats, dude, and they're so good.
Yeah, they did
They are so good.
the place I went to, St. Clair's, they did my favorite one was their cherry it was their cherry wood brat.
Ooh, cherrywood brats are good. I know
Oh my
smoked
god,
brats are
dude.
so good.
Oh,
Oh,
it, yeah. Okay, I'm sad. Continue, Luna.
I'm so sorry. I know how
No,
it is, man.
I love
Oh,
that place because you
I
can
get what you
taste the
mean, dude.
freshness and everything.
Oh, I love it when a store's like that. Like, you ever go to a good Subway where every time you go in there, like it's
I
fresh, it
I
tastes
haven't
good.
been to a good Subway since the 90s.
I haven't been to a good Subway in a while
When you
since
got the
I ran them out.
stamps,
My other town I used to live in, and they were so good there. Essentially, where my dad lives, they had a Subway there, and they ran them out of business. They kind of just died, but they were so good. I love that place. Now I'm
all
sick.
right,
Fuck.
Luna, go ahead.
anyways. So you wanted to know about the biological cloning, kind of like a timeline. I have a good timeline for you. So, trying to make it short, but so early 1900s, a German botanist, I'm not going to say his name because I can't, it sounds like gibberish. He proposed the idea of growing plants from individual cells. He didn't succeed, but laid the groundwork. Okay. And then the 1950s came. It was the first practical successes. So the scientists developed reliable techniques to grow whole plants from tiny tissues in their lab. The first success was actually tobacco, which became the model plant for plant biology research. And then in the 1960s and 1970s, Expansion to the food crops is where they started. So they started with potatoes, bananas, and strawberries. Now, specifically, the potatoes were cloned to eliminate viral diseases. The
Hmm.
bananas were to replace disease prone varieties. Strawberries and pineapples for large scale commercial propagation. Uh, you do
If
have a
you notice, that's all the it was. It's the most popular ones at the time too, though. This is the 50s and 60s. Potatoes was like the main plant back then for like production, and strawberries and whatnot. These are the main plants for productions for food. So that makes sense that these are ones they're focused on too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm. And then through the 1980s, through pretty much now, it's the commercial scale. So we're talking about the seedless crops like bananas again and grapes, and then the high value crops like vanilla, sugarcane, and coffee. So it just kept continuing on. And the whole idea behind the biological cloning is to have the disease free, high performing plants in a large scale. So that's pretty much.
again, like we said, they're trying to perfect it to where it's as good as it can be, which I that aspect I'm okay with. I really am because I would rather that be what it is. Like it's perfected to the maximum nutrients that it can give you instead of I mean you're basically steroiding a plant pretty much, and making it the best genetically modified it could be. That's a good thing. I'm not asking for a full protein shake inside of a grape, but you know, you know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean, and it leads me to wonder, like, they look at other plants that are able to mass produce by themselves, bamboo being one of them. Um, and to think that you can splice these genes together, I wonder if there's been any foods that they've spliced genes in with bamboo in that exact what you're talking about, with wanting to get the biggest yield and all the most you can get out of it at the quickest rate. Um, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I like the evolution of it too, because like you were saying, Viking, when Luna was talking about the potato part, I mean, potatoes are like consumed by everybody. Like,
Everybody.
I don't know anybody who never had a potato.
Yeah.
Um, and it would make sense that that was one of them, that they were starting out with the mass producing of it in a
Yeah, because
cloning type.
globally, I mean, like, tell me a place that doesn't grow potatoes globally.
Yeah, I wonder if you could do like a the idea of a biodome and just have all these things.
I would love to see that, like the science experiment all at once.
Yeah,
Take
have you?
everything that is like, I would like to see everything that we try to bring back from extinction as well, and have it all grow together all at once, and see how does that ecosystem thrive.
Yeah,
Because you look at like the Amazon is a great example. There's deep caves that have whole entire ecosystems in them with creatures that don't get seen that they think is extinct. No, they've been living down in this cave or whatever forever. There's plenty of examples of that where some creatures are rediscovered because they think are extinct. No, there's a whole entire ecosystem in the ground somewhere that this is a thing. That's where it comes back to the dinosaurs in the earth thing, an underground mass ecosystem. That's where that idea comes from, is because that's a thing. So, is not cloned biologically, really. Corn is not, huh?
is
Wow.
corn is corn natural? And just jump in, Luna. Just tell us to shut the fuck up and give a fact. You
Maybe
don't got
that.
to go into chat. you, you-
Well, I did a quick search. It's genetically uniform, um, but it is hybrid breeding. Most commercial corn is a hybrid made by crossing two inbred parents to get the consistent traits. So it's not. It
Wait,
is natural.
Did you say inbred parents?
yeah. So corn is
You caught
inbred.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard that part.
Inbred parent lines to get consistent traits. That's what it says.
I
You
think
tell them
I'm
they're
done eating
inbred?
corn.
Fuck.
Well, it's a seed grown crap, and they could
I don't
definitely
care. You
do it,
said
but it's not.
inbred.
It's not a clone. It's all
Doesn't matter.
natural.
You said inbred.
Yeah, it's inbred. I'm not
I
eating
don't
that
want
shit.
my corn to be, another piece of corn's grandpa's uncle.
Oh, dude, I just figured it out. It's inbred, okay? You know how like inbred people like have flippers and they're like all fucked up?
Yeah,
That's why corn stays whole in your shit. Cuz that's like one of the most fucked up things you could do to a human
it
is
makes
like come
sense.
out
Oh,
whole
I hate
as
you.
you ate it, you know. Man, conspiracies at sea are we're fucking solving problems that have plagued mankind for years.
Yeah. Oh shit. Any fucking ways. Back to what I was trying to talk about is yeah, no, there. That's the whole entire thing. Is there's ecosystems underground. I'd like to
Yeah.
see its own ecosystem. All that shit at once would be cool to see.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So,
I think
in like recloned animals, like the one I'm gonna talk about. Because there's a lot of cloning with that. Yeah, put in cloned sheep. Put in everything that's cloned. See how it works differently from what it would normally be. You know,
Mm,
because
yeah.
as you said, they're trying to basically relearn how to do things. I mean, I'm guessing a cloned sheep. I don't know. Maybe it's as stupid as the other sheep next to it that's not cloned. Who knows? Is the cloned sheep as dumb as the one down the road from Farmer Joe, who hates every single one of his sheep because they're retarded? I don't know.
So
The
does that mean that that's why one sibling is stupider than the other?
That explains my brother.
that could be. That could be.
And that's why
I
I'm a middle child. I've got both worlds. I've got
My
good
brother's a
and
dumbass.
dumb.
yeah. Well, you had somebody to take lessons from, so it got to help your decision making.
I'm the oldest. I didn't get any fucking decision.
Well, that's why you're Viking.
I only got blamed for everything.
Well, I still blame you for everything.
Fuck you.
I liked Luna. You got any more of the on what
Yeah, you got any
your
more of this
topic?
stuff?
Because
We're interested
I
in this.
like
Yeah,
what you got going.
what else you got over there?
Still kind of looking, but um, pretty much said everything that popped up here.
I mean, is there
But
anything else to look
you
into?
know, if you did want to know why corn comes out whole,
No,
I already
I can
solved.
tell you that.
no, we're good. We're good. We're
I've
good.
solved it. Yeah.
That's not part of the cloning thing. We're good. We're good.
Are you
I,
sure it doesn't get
I
cloned and
already
made
know what
normal?
it is. No, I don't need a fucking history lesson on it.
Well, I will say, Luna, as always, you did some fantastic research, and you always hit it out of the park.
Yeah, I'm
And
really
I
glad to
think
be that subject because it was very interesting.
yeah, you always bring a very logical way to go through a subject, and I always appreciate that. And I
Thank
think
you,
you're
man.
saying it's okay to eat cloned fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely. You're not going to die.
Oh, good,
That's
good.
a good
You've eased 1/320 of my brain.
Good.
There's a lot of things I fear.
I
So
was going to say, there's a lot up there. I already know that answer.
yeah. So I mean, it's a small percentage, but it's a percentage, and that's all that matters. So Viking, are you ready to set sail on
Yeah,
your
maybe we
topic?
can kick off this with the how we talked about pandas earlier. I did use Meta AI really quick and be like, "Hey, China cloning pandas. Like, what can you tell me?" And I do have some facts here about it. China is actively pursuing panda cloning technology to save the endangered species. Here's what we know so far. So their breakthrough achievements. Chinese scientists have successfully developed an embryo of a giant panda using clone technology by growing an embryo that contains genes from a dead panda. Uh, meth- Methodology? Is that how you say that? The process involves introducing cells from a dead panda into egg cells of another species, like rabbits, and attempting to implant the embryo into a host animal. I've heard of this before. This is how they did it with the sheep, I believe.
Hmm.
Now, the challenges of this: Dr. Dwayne Kramer, a professor at Texas A&M University, notes that cloning pandas is not easy due to the lack of available panda eggs. requiring several hundred transfers to result in one pregnancy. And I knew about this also is that they are struggling with it because of that. They cannot get enough panda eggs in at once in order to repeat the process to have successful test results. That is one of their big drawbacks. They cannot get enough test subjects basically to continue the experiment. Is
Not
what
enough pandas willing.
yeah, but the other thing is they don't have enough pandas fucking to give them eggs.
Hmm.
That's what they don't have.
Consent matters, everybody.
I mean, the pandas don't know how to fuck. So,
Well, still got to have
anyways,
consent.
yeah. So the entire procedure could take 3 to 5 years to complete, is what they're guessing for time frame. And the purpose of this is the goal is to increase the panda population and preserve genetic diversity, potentially using stem cells to create embryos from induced plur- pluripotent stem cells. Did I say that word? Pluri potent? Pluripotent? I don't know how to say that word. It's pluri potent. Never heard of that word. But that's what they're trying to do. And yeah, on expert opinions, some experts applaud China's efforts. Others argue that cloning may not be the most effective way to protect pandas, emphasize the importance of genetic diversity from habitat preservation. And other experts have raised concerns about the effectiveness and ethics of cloning pandas. So I heard of that as well. A lot of people are concerned about doing this because you're not having the original animal and you have to use other cells and whatnot. And that's what a lot of people are drawing back on as the downside of all this is they don't like that you're using other animals for it, which I understand. But again, Jurassic Park, what did they use? A mosquito.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I know the sheep process was messy and they did that for years and years and years trying to get that right. We all know the cloning process of the sheep was it was all over the news for how long? I seen it like every week forever.
Yeah. Back in
It
the
was in
day.
it for years. I would see something new for years that they were trying to do the cloning process. I think it was like I remember year 3 or 5 of them attempting to do it. It was when it kind of got bigger. I think it was around then, like year 3 or 5. I remember it being on like Good Morning America or some news shit. I don't remember, but
Yeah. Dolly.
yeah, I remember it being in the mainstream media for a while. That was a big thing. Which it was one of the subjects where I was like, I'm actually interested in this compared to everything else I don't care about. But
Well, the newest one that they're doing with that using on different species is they're taking an elephant and
hmm
they're using a long-haired mouse.
you mean the
They're
article
trying
I
to
showed you?
they're well no they're trying to do a woolly mammoth. So
That's the
there's
article I sent you.
yeah, so they're doing the
Yeah,
splicing of those genes and then they're inserting it into an elephant.
that was gonna be my next subject.
Yeah, it's just wild. And like you were saying with the sheep, though, how the evolution of the story continued, but your first hearing of it sparked an interest, so you kept on to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested in it too because I was like, that was at the
Kind of
time
cool.
where,
Is it the first time the big like cloning thing you heard about, right?
well, yeah, I mean, at that time in my life, I was being told about religion and things like that, and then I'm watching the news and seeing this stuff, and it's like making you question things because you do get to the point that which what are we playing with and what is okay, because in one hand the religious sect says that God gives you everything that you know. So if he did that, then he gave you the tools to know how to do this. So therefore, that lies in the questions, the morality question parts of this. So that's where my mind was at when I heard about Dolly for the first time back. And I believe I was in either fifth grade or getting ready to go into middle school. I was right around that area. So yeah, I remember that very well, and it was a very cool to think
The sheep
because
clone.
Yeah, I mean Jurassic
It
Park
was
was huge.
so when okay, so give me timeline wise. So you said middle school, junior high. When was this? Like what year? Do you
I
know?
remember hearing it back in the mid '90s.
I was gonna say this had to be the '90s. I know that's when the sheep program was it like 90. I want to say 96, 94, something like that. It was between 94 and 96, I think, when the sheep thing started.
I think 90, 95, 96, around there. So yeah, roughly your timeline. Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, right around your timeline, what you're speaking of, I
96.
yeah,
So the first mammal clone from an adult cell was born on July 5th, 1996. The cloning of Dolly, yeah, Dolly the sheep was, yeah, 96.
yeah. So I remember those, uh, that being a huge story, and it provoking a lot of questions. And I remember my science teacher also, and she said that this is going to change a lot of the things that we discussed from here on out, and which it did, because it brought light to the possibilities of what
Hmm.
and the capabilities of what are we capable of. And
But
then honestly, I remember now them going into, that's when they started talking about the cloning projects and things that the Nazis were trying to do for the super soldiers and shit like that.
yeah, and that cycled back in the 2000s of being a subject, I think.
Yeah.
Early 2000s, I think, is when they were like, who's going to use this to clone super soldiers and shit. Like they weren't even actually that far enough yet that they could actually do that so and so, but they were on the verge of it though.
Yeah.
We all know the technology wasn't advanced enough to. I, I'm not going to say clone a human, but like do successful modifying so and so. It wasn't to a point that they could actually do it just yet. They were on the verge of it though.
No, but they did have their ways of doing it.
Hmm.
They were crossbreeding and making sure that the best of the best breeded with each other.
Well,
Bred.
and that's the thing, and that like I know even this says it. Cats, dogs, and horses were another big thing. When people think of they cloned these, they didn't clone them for the reasons you think they did to reproduce them. They cloned them for test subjects.
Hmm.
That's what a lot of them were cloned for. Dogs in particular. That's like you see about they're animal testing. Some company that's a cosmetics thing. They're testing on these cloned animals actually.
Yeah.
Like lab rats are clones up the ass. I don't think lab rats anymore are even original anymore. They're
I
all clones.
don't, and I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think something that's cloned is not considered human,
No, it's not. That's the reason why
or an
there
animal.
is no so it's and that's the reason why cosmetic companies are able to bypass
Yeah,
certain
the
animal
loophole.
testing laws because the clones aren't original. They aren't considered a clone dog isn't considered, your as the same as your, buddy sitting next to you, the golden retriever that you've had for 10 years. They're not considered
Yeah.
to be the same animal. Your dog next to you is considered to be your dog. The one they're testing on, they don't consider it, they consider it a number. That's the sad thing about it. They don't consider it to be an actual like golden retriever dog sitting there on a table getting these cosmetics tested on them. They don't.
Dude, you know what?
Number.
With you saying that, dude, you know what just went through my head?
Hmm.
Think about filling out some shipping
Oh, I know.
paperwork. The copy you give them is the carbon copy. We are carbon, and a clone could be considered a carbon copy of us. So therefore, it is not considered a human.
Yeah.
That is just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a
Does that
high
mean if you
moment.
shot? Okay, so there's a clone version of you. You kill that clone. Is that murder?
No,
So yeah, by law, you just got away with murder.
what I got away with deletion. I
Yeah,
deleted that carbon copy.
because there was just a Is it?
Man,
I'm drawing a blank on this, but there's a movie that came out not too long ago. I think it's Jesse Eisenberg. It's he finds like his clone copy in like the town he lives in or something, and like he kills him or some shit. I can't remember the movie. It's a movie that came out not too long ago. It's like a low
I haven't.
production movie.
Don't
some
hold.
horror movie. I think it's Jesse Eisenberg or something. I don't remember. Someone that looks like him. Anyways,
Sounds
it
like
just
an
reminded me of
interesting
that completely. I'm pretty sure like it is, and I'm pretty sure he kills him at the end of the movie. Like there's a bunch of fight scenes and shit. So probably that's the way the movie ends.
That's wild though to think about that.
Wouldn't it be fucked up though? Because you think about how many times you've been told, "Oh, I thought you were this person," that somebody knew.
Yeah.
I know of 3 people around my hometown that looked like me. They're all younger,
Mm. Mm.
and I met 2 of them.
Okay, so
And
let
like
me ask
we
you.
kind of look like each other a little bit. And there was some things where I'm like, okay, you kind of look like a younger version of me, but I can see what I looked like at that time. You don't look like that of me though.
When
And
was your first official year of school?
are we talking kindergarten or
Yes, kindergarten.
my timeline's fuzzy because I try to forget a lot of that time in my life. I remember '98 because I can remember Dale Earnhardt winning Daytona 500. Before that, I have no recollection really of my life. I have some instances here and there. I think I was in
Okay,
kindergarten at the
in
time.
98, were you in school?
I I'm trying to remember if I was in kindergarten at the time. Kindergarten's the farthest back I can remember, other than like Head Start, getting out the bus or van bus thing. I remember that fucking.
Okay, how old are you?
Now,
Yeah,
how old am I? 32.
32.
32. Okay, 32.
So
I was
you
born
were
'92.
92. So
Just to
97
let
would.
you know, I was born late '92.
Okay, so 97, 98 would have been when you started school,
Yeah,
roughly. Okay,
'98.
so yes. Okay, so when you were in school, when you were in elementary specifically, do you ever remember being pulled out of class to do
Yes,
some
9/11.
tests?
Oh, test? No.
And these tests were the first one would have been your hearing test, and
Oh yeah.
then you would have went to an eye test,
Yep.
and then after the eye test, did you go to a picture test?
Uh, do you, when you say picture test, what do you mean?
They hold up a picture and they say, "What do you see?" Did they
I
ever
don't
do
remember
that?
that part. See, I remember the hearing and eye test being like
Yes.
different days though.
Okay.
It was different days. It wasn't always the same day. They did it on different days because there's so many students. That's like the lights check day was done in
Okay.
one day, but
Okay. So if you don't remember that, this next question will tell me exactly what I need to know, and we'll move forward. Did you go to a word assimilation test?
not that I can recall.
Okay, so you did not. You just got your eye and your hearing checked. Okay, so
I didn't need an eye check. I already had glasses.
if you would have advanced past those, you would have remembered those two other tests, and those two other tests were and it's you can look into this. I forget the exact name of the project, but they were going through. It was in the mid '80s all the way up to I think early 2000s when the program ended. But they would go to schools and they would do these tests upon kids, and it was
It's a 3-letter agency thing.
yes,
Okay,
and
I
it
know where
got
this is going.
yes,
Yeah,
so it got into more of the expansion of MK Ultra, things like that.
yeah, that makes sense. I figured
Um,
along those lines for some next person in our program kind of thing. Let's see how they'll do in this field and so and
well, and some
yeah,
of those people who
some John
went,
Wick type shit.
they went through with the program and they went on after they got out of all of this stuff. They discussed that in their town, it was weird that they kept seeing multiple younger versions of them. So that's why I was asking. I know I took us a little off course, but I got us back on course at the end because that's what great podcasters do. But yeah, so that's why I was asking all those things. I was trying to see if
Oh
maybe
fuck! I don't like where this went.
that, well, it didn't happen because you would have
Are you
remembered.
sure?
I am
I remember
100.
everything.
The only way that you would not remember those last two tests is if
Do
you
you
were
know? Do you want to know why I don't remember? Is because it was a car accident. I had amnesia, and I don't remember half of my life.
you would have trigger words that would have been said throughout your entire life that would have sent you off on a murderous agent rampage.
Damn
You would
it!
have been a trained assassin.
Selected?
Trust me, you're not. You probably just got touched by your priest. And that's okay. We all have.
No, I never went to church, so unlike you, I didn't have that problem. So tell me, what was your first guy's name?
Jim. And he was a lover. He was gentle.
No rock candy?
He was gentle. He
No
was
rock
just
candy?
no, he
No?
loved me. He said he told me he was going to give me the world, and he just gave me the clap. So, anyways, we can go into more of these animal subjects in which you were discussing there, Viking Storm.
Fuck you. You can't trigger me like that. Just set that up and then just be like, oh, let's move on to this.
Did I not say I'm a great podcaster and that's what we do?
Nope, you never said that. So it's not true.
It's true. So, what else you got, Viking Storm?
Oh God, I don't remember what the subject I was talking about anymore.
Sheeps. You were
God,
getting ready to
how
go
far
into
was
the
that?
woolly mammoth.
Not the woolly mammoth, the woolly mouse.
Well, yeah, but that's what they're trying to get to.
No, they're trying to get to the. Yeah. With this they are.
Yes, they're trying to get to the woolly mammoth.
It's the reason why they're trying to cross the. Its relative, which is the closest one, which is the Asian elephant, actually. So what they're trying to do is make the woolly mouse. They have pretty much. Scientists at Colossal Biosciences have successfully engineered a woolly mouse with traits reminiscent of the extinct woolly mammoth. Don't know how the fuck that's possible, but okay. This genetically modified mouse exhibits characteristics such as long, shaggy fur. The mouse has elongated golden brown fur similar to the woolly mammoth's coat. Increased fat deposits. The mouse has accelerated fat metabolism, which would help it adapt to cold environments. The cold tolerance is the genetic modifications aimed to confer cold tolerance, a key characteristic of the woolly mammoth. So basically, they miniaturized a woolly mammoth, is what they did.
Yeah.
I
And
thought a woolly mouse was actually what mouses were back then. Are they not? I
no,
just swore that's what they were.
no, they're trying to get to the woolly mammoth,
Hmm.
in which they're going to use the mouse. And there
Hmm.
was a mouse that had longer hair,
Yeah.
and they extended that gene, and they found out, like what you said, with the adding the cold and all that to it, throughout the Asian elephant, I believe you said.
Yep.
Um, and then when they cross those in, they get a somewhat resemblance of a woolly mammoth, in which they're going to make that embryo, and they're going to insert that embryo into an elephant, and then the elephant is going to produce that woolly mammoth. Then, from what I'm understanding, because you sent me that link, and I remember listening to Sam Tripoli talk about this a couple months back. So I went back and listened to him. And
Oh.
what he was saying was, once they get two of them, they're going to let them mate and see if they produce something bigger. And
Uh,
because what's going to happen is the ones that they're producing from the mouse and
hmm.
the Asian elephant and putting into another elephant are going to be a miniature size of what they think the woolly mammoth's actual size was.
So they're trying to make just basically mini mammoths, is what they're trying to do.
Yes, but they're hoping that once they create the two, that if they mate, that they'll produce something that is more getting bigger towards the woolly mammoth
So
side.
they want that. Are they going to ask for the basically the mini woolly mammoth to mate with the Asian elephant and hope that they get something?
I that could be a route, or they're going to wait until they create two woolly mammoths.
I mean, I think it'd be cooler to do a genetically modified woolly mammoth and have it mate with an elephant and see what happens.
That could be something. Because
But I
well,
mean, is that too much? Because you got to think of it because there has been weird crossbreeding, of course.
there has been, but that's like a unicorn. You
Well,
don't
yeah,
have
I
it
know.
all the time.
No, what I'm saying, like unique, I'm thinking of dogs. Because look how many weird dog breeds you've seen where a Chihuahua got fucked by a Great Dane, and there's an actual fucking puppy who
Yeah.
you didn't expect. So, and that's a possibility.
I guess you would you would more or less have to go with the fact, or you would have to look at what the Asian elephant, where they go outside of their species.
Hmm.
So if they go outside, or race, I guess I should say, their race of elephant.
Hmm.
So you go outside of their race of elephant, and then I guess that would be it, where you would gear more towards the woolly mammoth and seeing if they could, the miniature woolly mammoth, to see in which they could produce with those.
Dudes. Yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
interesting because
I know.
hmm,
I'd still like to see it though. I would like to see if it's possible. That I'm pretty sure that's probably something they're aiming towards. I'm gonna be pretty positive that they're gonna try that at some point in time with an elephant to see if
yeah.
they can even produce.
Well, yeah, they're that's the next step. Right now they're at they have the long-haired mouse. They have that, they have the gene. Now they just need to get the
Woolly
they
mammoth.
get a name, yeah, a working embryo
Yeah.
that will take this. And I mean, I guess you would also have to have the elephant that would be able to hold the size, because even though it's a miniature woolly mammoth type animal, where you're taking it from a small ass mouse and you're taking it from an Asian elephant. Those are two
Two
drastically
genetically
big.
drastic
Exactly.
individuals.
So where, like, how I would love to learn CRISPR technology.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I want to
Uh,
know more about this. Like, how would this actually work out? Because all I can imagine is some game where you just take genetically modified different things and mash them together and see what turns out to be.
yeah,
Is that's
yeah.
what they're
No,
basically
I see
doing?
what you're saying.
I'm gonna say it right now. These things are gonna be butt fucking ugly, most of them. So
Yeah,
this
because
is
I mean,
actually pretty cloning. I mean, I can tell you, there's probably been more dead clones than there is people in the population.
from what we know, or well, not, I can't say from what we know. From what we've imagined with woolly mammoths, the face is like, it's not as covered as the rest of the body. You
Well,
can
we've
you
also found fully frozen woolly mammoths though too. So we actually know what they look like. They've thawed full-grown woolly mammoths that were frozen in time. And so, I mean, they've
okay.
found pregnant woolly mammoths. So I'm pretty sure that's where some of this, because you remember there was a couple they found woolly mammoths that were pregnant, which is not uncommon. They found plenty of animals that were.
Yeah, but then Viking, I don't, I hate to do this, but I can pull the Tommy Boy clip for this too.
Okay,
I
hold on.
can.
Let me finish. Hold the fuck on. Just hold on. Okay, is that we know that. So I'm guessing a lot of it is probably taken from that though too, the cloning process. They probably used a lot of that tissue there because having that full scale example is probably where it's pulled a lot of from. So we know what a woolly mammoth will look like though. They've had them frozen, thawed them, and they do the reanimation of it. It kind of
No,
they can see. So I'm guessing they have a general knowledge of what they would have looked like,
I hear you, and
and that's what
if
they're going to try to go off of. So that's all they have to deal with. We we don't know per se exactly what a woolly mammoth all would have looked like. They could have had different variations. Again, as you say, their race. There could have been different races of woolly mammoths. You don't know that because it was rumored that they found white ones, so they're not
well,
all brown. It's
at
supposedly.
the and there's also that other side of the coin where it could all just be fictitious bullshit. And it could not even exist. My dog just scared the ever living shit out of me. He came
Oh,
in
you
my
looked so fast
studio.
to your left. You
Yeah.
looked really quick.
Oh, yeah, because he fucking scared the fuck out of me. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's that other possibility of that it
Just
didn't
thought the three-legged
exist.
agencies were coming in to stop him.
Yeah, there's a fucking the three-letter agencies. They were ready to shut me down. But
Exactly.
yeah, that's where I'm at. I want to believe, and I think that there actually was, because I believe in a lot of the mountains being Nephilim giants that were just conquered. I believe that the flooding of the earth actually happened, and I don't think it was for reasons that the Bible says. I believe that it was reasons to take out the Nephilim giants, because the Creator was ready to let mankind
This
actually
is the
take
reason
over.
why I've always been telling you, like I've said a couple times, why don't we do an F1 Giants episode in your end?
Well, we'll get there. Trust me,
That's a full blown thing that you're into. So
we'll get there. But I just, to me, I think that there definitely was a possibility, but for them to find things preserved like that, I'm I'm a little more skeptical of.
I understand.
Only Yeah, and it's only because you can use propaganda to do. It's like, if you don't see it, you don't trust your eyes, or you don't
Okay,
trust.
but let me bring up one thing. Hold on. What
Mhm.
about the fact that they've drilled into the ice in Antarctica or whatever and found fucking diseases that were extinct for? Don't you give me that fucking look. I'm just saying. You wanted to do that whole skeptical thing. I get that, but then what about? I'm just saying. There's been more than once they've done that. And it's like, oh, it came from this, and I'm
No,
like,
I
if
I
you
hear you.
listen, just listen. Hold the fuck on. Listen, Linda. Hold on. Okay, shut up, cat. If okay, just saying, just go with me for this for a second, and don't do the whole typical Joshua Joseph thing where you don't believe everything. Just for a moment, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I see that fucking smirk. For a moment, okay, say that just like that. I actually, you know what? Never fucking mind. I lost my train of thought because you fucked me up. Fuck.
I didn't want. I'm just saying it's Antarctica, and you want me to be like, oh well, I don't believe any of the stuff that I believe in Antarctica. That place is a fucking breeding ground for psyops.
I know I picked the wrong fucking location.
They
That's
got the
all I
portal
had to
to
go with.
fucking center of the earth in Antarctica that we can't go to. I
Okay,
mean,
outside of that, but that they've it's happened more than once though, where they drilled into ice, pulled out the ice, and said, and looked at it, and they look at what the fucking ice is because it's been buried in some cave deep in
mhm.
hundreds of feet below the fucking ground. They pull out an this cylinder of ice because the way I've actually seen it done, how they drill into it, it's the same thing as taking a core sample. You drill into it, it comes out in like a tube. It looks like a tube of it, but it's full blown ice tube. And they examine it and they say that this disease in it was preserved for hundreds of years. I don't know. That I kind of okay with because put it the fuck back. That's where I'm like, put it the fuck back. But the woolly mammoth thing, yeah, I'm skeptical on it. It could not be the same thing. I still lost my fucking train of thought right I had with this, but
No, I kind of see where you're
I had
going.
somewhere with it, but I don't remember what the fuck it was.
I mean, you're saying, in a sense, and correct me if I'm ever wrong on this, but in a sense that they're finding links of diseases and things that we can find in today's society.
Hmm.
So, in some sense, if something's frozen, that's an animal, and it's frozen in the same area in which this disease is frozen. So there's some type of reality to it.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah,
yeah,
I can see
yeah.
your connection to reality is more science based and things that you can
A
see.
little bit because I'm more of a. The difference between you and me is you will drill into everything about a subject and believe it more than I would. I'm more of a realist when it comes to things, and I don't. It, it's the reason why I look at everything and I'm just like, no, that's fucking stupid. I'll see
No, I
something
get you.
and I'm like, I'm not going to do that because realistically, it doesn't. It's fucking dumb. I'm that type of person.
Yeah, no, I got you 100%, because instantly my mind goes into, when explaining those things, is purely on the fact that it's a
Yeah, Gran, we knew we were going to do that. That's I'm not surprised. We knew we were going to bomb them. Yeah, it
oh
was going to happen.
no.
Anyways,
That's not a good thing. But yeah, that I instantly go into that's what they want you to see. That's what they want you to believe. So I get where you're coming from.
yeah.
No worries. And you understand where I'm coming from. So
Oh yeah,
we're
yeah.
good on that. Um,
Again, like I say, your side of believing things is a little bit different than mine.
oh yeah. I wouldn't
Well, we
trust
have this show because we're two different opinions on things.
yeah. I wouldn't trust my own mother if she told me what my name was. So
We like to
What
that's why.
the
troll. We
fuck?
like to go the night before one of their primaries. We do a little trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
Oh,
Was that you?
no.
No,
That's our
her. Yeah,
producer.
no. I asked her if that was her.
Oh, yeah, that was her. That's our
Uh,
producer.
that's what she was giggling about over there. That she
I love it.
found something.
Keep
When
keep
she
shit like
started
that
giggling all
coming.
of a sudden while we're talking, I'm like, "What?"
Things like that make me giggle. So you keep that going. Grun, don't give us these fucking depressing things. I understand that I just look they're taking the SS nymphs and they're putting it out there. If you guys don't know, in a year's time, the SS nymphs is about to be decommissioned. They're not going to put it out there anymore. They're not going to put any more money into it. So why would they be putting it out there months before it's about to be decommissioned? Why? Why would you do that? It's because there's a false flag being staged. Do not fall for it. The second coming of 9/11 is about to be among us. It will happen in this month. Do not fall for it. We can be patriotic without fucking getting behind this fucked up government doing fucked up shit. Go on. What are we talking about? Cloning?
I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Hey
But
yo,
sure.
what the fuck?
No, I'm being serious. You guys, look, you guys want to laugh about it? That's cool. But you pay attention.
You can't fucking do that.
You pay attention, my
Try to be
friend.
serious here.
Pay a
Dude.
fucking attention. Everybody, look, they were talking about the 9/11 shit before it happened.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, why would you do
We've
that?
already done the 9/11 conversation. It was an inside job. We all know it. Blah blah blah.
Yes, I understand, but now we have number 2
I'm
coming
so
around.
over that fucking conversation. I'm so sick and tired of it being a thing.
Well, don't worry, you're about to have a number 2.
Fucking horse.
So, well, where we at
Anyway,
with your cloning talk?
Jesus Christ. Um, yeah, the fucking woolly mouse was my main subject there. Jesus.
The woolly
Um.
mouse. Okay. Do you know what
Anyways,
others?
but
What
to
others?
achieve this, the researchers employed advanced genome editing tools like CRISPR, targeting specific genes associated with characteristics such as hair texture, the length, color, and follicle development. So yes, again, they're trying to make it longer, bigger. That's what they're trying to do over time. So what I think they're gonna do is keep trying to make the rat or not the rat, the mouse bigger and bigger and fucking bigger and bigger, so they can get that as we talked about the size difference, the size thing that needs to be generated into it completely because well it's a fucking mammoth. You start with a mouse. They're making a challenge for themselves if you think about it. Wouldn't it be harder to go from small to bigger, 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 bigger? Because as you mentioned, the mini woolly mammoth, that's not going to be easy to replicate or make. They're making a new animal all themselves.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a new animal all itself. Being a mini woolly mammoth, yeah,
Well,
it'd be a new spectacle in itself. Because mammoths were supposed to be larger than elephants, correct?
from my understanding,
So they're all just going to try to make a mammoth-sized elephant or an elephant-sized mammoth is what they're going to kind of try to do,
yeah.
and then they're going to hope that they're going to get a bigger elephant from it or a mammoth. That's not going to happen really,
Well, if
unless
you
they modify that embryo itself. That's the only way.
well, that's where the CRISPR comes in,
Yeah.
and then once they modify that embryo and they get it to where they want it, they insert it into the elephant, and then they let it nature do its course from there.
But at the same time, I'm thinking, man, would an elephant let a? Because if they try to do it naturally, will an elephant let a mammoth just? mount them.
That's why I don't think it's gonna
I don't think
go
that's
that
what
route.
working
I
out
think they're gonna make two differently genetically different uh,
mammoths.
mammoths, and
Yeah,
then they're gonna have them mate.
because I feel like as soon as an elephant sees a mammoth, they're gonna be like, "Fuck no, that's a bear." I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm.
I just feel like an elephant would freak out when they see a mammoth, like a big something they've never seen before, a big furry like that with giant tusks just moving towards them. I don't think an elephant's gonna have a good fucking day.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those questions in in that world that I don't know if they're being asked. I mean, I would assume they were. They
Yeah.
seem like dumb guy questions, but to a dumb guy, it seems like smart questions you should be asking. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in my mind though, I'm just thinking, yeah, they're going to completely modify to mammoths, and then that's how it's gonna happen because
yeah.
there's not going to be any elephant involved other than the cells department.
Well, do you know what else upon that research? What else animal that they're looking to start cloning?
I There's some other one, but I don't know what it is.
The dodo bird.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for years. That's nothing new. I
Yes,
don't
but
I don't
but
fucking care about the dodo bird. It's a stupid thing trying to re-clone. Like, why? It's literally dead for a reason.
yeah,
Why try to clone the dumbass bird that would kill itself? I don't fucking understand the
you're
point or
you're
logic.
telling me you wouldn't try it?
No, I don't.
I
I
would.
would not. It's pointless.
I
It is
would try
pointless
it.
trying to clone this fucking bird. It's
No,
completely
I would
useless.
eat it.
I
I
would
would
not.
Why?
try it. Well, because I have never had it before, so I would like to try it.
Fucking Luna. Why?
I mean, that's exactly
I
why.
would not try that. I mean, I can tell you, peacock's good.
Okay, well, I can
Peacock
have
is good.
peacock.
Ostrich is good.
I want to try dodo bird,
I would not
so
try
that's where I'm at.
that.
But yeah, that one. There's also a Tasmanian something. It looks really weird.
Tasmanian tiger, you mean?
Yeah, they're trying to bring that thing back.
Yeah.
Um, which it makes me like there has to be a limit on some of this stuff. Like we have to say, hey, maybe
There
not.
has to be because the Tasmanian tiger, like, you don't need it brought back. They've always been like, oh, it's out there still. It's out there. It's out there. No, it's not. Like, if it is, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah, and what I mean,
It's at the end of its life. Let the last one live out its life. Like, just leave the fuck alone.
what's
Why?
it?
Why do you need to reclone this thing? Why?
Yeah, that's my
Why?
question. Why?
It does
What's
it do anything for the fucking world? But over in Australia, go ahead and I think it's Australian. I think that's the Tasmanian tiger is it not?
I don't know.
Tasmanian devil tiger, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, it's a
I
fucking
think it's
weird ass.
Australian. I don't or Tasmania. I guess that would be the correct place. I guess.
You would
But
assume.
yeah, and just let it fucking live its life out. Like, leave it alone.
Dude, I agree with you. I think it's getting. I mean, if all three of us are sitting here and we're just talking, we can see the benefits and the disadvantages of this technology.
I see it as wasted time of not doing things that would be beneficial to the balance of life. Why even try to clone it?
Yes,
The mammoth thing is cool, but why?
but you see, you got excited for the plant side of it, which I
I
agree
did
with you.
because that's beneficial to human life,
Well,
to
that's
our
where I
lives.
was going with that.
I know
I
you
was
were,
gonna
but
say that, like you understand that leads me to believe that you understand more of the benefits of it,
I do
and if
because
the
doing a fucking
technology
animal
was
is not
with you,
beneficial other than
yeah.
shooting this.
And plus, we can do the like we were talking about. If you do a biodome with these plants in there, you're
Yeah.
seeing what can be done, where they can benefit, where they can help out still. Because I'm pretty sure, I mean, we don't even know half of what's out there in the Amazon.
Oh, we don't. We
So,
don't. Because again, the ecosystem thing, like I said, there's miniature ecosystems that exist that we have not been a part of.
but again, I think we should have more of our science and our technology and our discovery going towards looking and things like that as
Oh yeah,
opposed to bringing back the dodo bird or bringing back any animal. To me,
exactly.
yes, is man responsible for the extinction of certain things? Most definitely. But at the end of the day, Mother Nature is going to be here before us and she's going to be here after us. And this earth that we live on has this natural ability to cleanse itself and repair itself when
Oh yeah.
humanity has done. I mean, just look at the ozone layer. When I was growing up, they were telling me that thing was going to get a big hole in it and sun gods were going to come down and light me on
Oh,
fire.
I know. Yeah.
And then the older I got in my mid 20s, they were telling me how it was repairing itself. So you see, this is what I'm talking about. The idea of nature and things like that can be manipulated. Now, going into helping out people, like Luna brought up very eloquently about the food, the potatoes, the strawberries, things like that were done at a mass production because they knew that those were the things people wanted and needed and ate, and it was easy, and you could make an abundance of it quickly. So again, I go back to there are advantages of this. I'm glad to
There's
find
pros
out
and
that,
cons of cloning. That's what I wanted to talk about.
yeah,
There, the pros completely is food. We know that there's been no cons to it. Food side, yes. A woolly mammoth, dire wolves, dodo birds. Uh, that shit is stupid.
yeah,
Like, leave the Tasmanian tiger devil alone and fucking wherever it came from. Don't try to find it and clone it. The pandas I can kind of understand because they're fucking retarded, but and people want pandas to be
then
alive. They're cash.
that's
That's a cash cow thing, though, to me. That's all
but
that is.
that's evolution. If it's too dumb to survive, then
Okay,
it's,
no, that is yeah. No, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. They're fucking retarded. Let them kill themselves off. I do not care.
I mean,
The
didn't
pandas are
China
cute.
just get
Yeah,
busted for
pandas are
painting
cute.
dogs like pandas
They're
in their
what?
zoo?
They're what?
I think China just got busted a couple years ago for painting dogs in their zoo to look like pandas.
I think maybe. I don't know. Google it. Fucking you got Meta AI right there. They possibly did. But see, as he's doing it, um, yeah, no, I see that as a dumber side of things. I get trying to preserve pandas and keeping them around, but is it really worth it? Like, what benefit do they have to the environment fully? That's what I want to know. Unless it has a environmental benefit, a global benefit, don't clone it. Let it be.
Okay, so yes, there have been incidences in China where dogs, specifically chow chows, have been painted to resemble pandas. Pandas.
Chow
This prac
chow.
Yes, this practice has occurred in zoos and other establishments, often drawing criticism and accusations of misleading the public.
Why? Like, never mind. Never mind. Forget I asked why. Don't. They're retarded. It is China. They do stupid shit like this all the time. They think it'll work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Never mind. I remembered who was the ones doing it or trying to attempt this. They think this stupid shit works for them every single time. They're like, nobody will notice. This is yeah. I know you're gonna like this, but it was fucking Dollar Tree, uh, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
Who was
That's
that?
all I can think of the whole entire Kane and what was the guy that played Scott Hall? Uh, I don't fucking remember. So Kane
Mm,
was Kevin Nash, and then that other dude was Scott Hall. He was a new guy or something, and they're like, "Here, do this."
yeah, that was funny. Those guys were.
Nobody thought they would fucking notice. Like it was all because they owned the name of was it Scott Hall or Razor Ramon they owned or whatever, and they owned
Yeah,
Big Diesel or something.
yeah. Diesel and
Yeah,
Razor Ramon.
yeah.
So yeah, what Grun brought up as of 4 minutes ago, New York Times is saying U.S. enters war with Iran, bombing key nuclear sites. So
Okay,
we bombed 3 of Iran's
we're back
nuclear
at war with
sites.
Iran again. Yay.
Yep. So that's where we're at. It's not a war yet. I mean,
I mean, our last war didn't even really end, so.
yeah.
And we were at war
So,
for like 20 years, and people forget that.
and just so everybody understands that if this actually goes into a war, yes, I will be very critical of the guy I voted into no new wars or anything like that. So yeah, don't worry about that. And you cannot call me a hypocrite. You can call me a left-leaning or a right-leaning libertarian.
I'm gonna say
Uh,
left, huh?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
what the
getting
fuck is that?
tired.
Are you a psyop? Huh?
Well, I mean, there was a time I was a Democrat, but they left me. So,
Oh, God. So you did go retarded for 2 seconds.
well, there was a time my views leaned more. My views never changed.
Understandable.
They changed. The party changed. So,
I'm not retarded,
anyways,
but I like rocks.
I do too.
I do too. You are retarded, you like rocks. You're a bunch of rocks, so shut the fuck up.
I can't wait to see that dude live in my hometown. It's gonna be fun.
Who?
Cam Patterson, that comedian she just played.
Oh.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite comedians out
Oh,
today.
yeah, that reminds me, because of things going on in the media and people you know about. You know about the whole Buffalo schools being exposed, right?
The what?
You don't know about this? Buffalo schools being exposed for abuse and on their students and whatnot? The whole cover up?
No.
Hey, I know of a conspiracy that you don't?
Yeah, it sounds
Holy
like it.
shit. Yeah, look, just Google Buffalo schools cover ups right now, and you'll find Luna's doing it right now. Um, yeah, there's a whole thing going on there. But the podcast it was actually produced on that became a big thing, which is the Unsubscribed podcast, uh, which is like Eli Double Tap, the Fat Electrician, Herrera, and then Donut Operator. They did a whole segment on this, and they're actually going on tour in the Midwest. If they come here, we're definitely gonna go fucking see them. They do live shows. Yeah, that's the thing that we're looking forward to if it happens. We're definitely going to it. Cam Patterson, though, I might have heard of.
Yeah, he's on Kill Tony.
Yeah, more than likely then. I'd like to see Aaron. I would love to
Aaron
see Aaron at a show.
Aaron Bile.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. I
Plus,
like him.
the dude doesn't even talk, and he's more hilarious than half the comics that come on there.
Yeah, there's a good group of comedians that are regulars right now that I really like. I think they're really doing great stuff at Kill
I'd like
Tony.
to see Aaron or Matt Rife.
Oh yeah, you want to throw your underwear up at Matt?
No,
Let him know you love him.
no. I was following Matt Rife before he became big.
Oh, but now he's big and you want to see him.
I wanted to see him back then, but he was never really locally around, like at shows.
Do you want to blow kisses to him?
No. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Doing gay jokes without me.
No, you're involved, Luna. Don't worry. You're going to be there when
That
Viking
is
kisses
so
Matt.
turned down, by the way. When you play the audio, I can barely hear this shit.
Oh, I love it. I can hear it.
I can barely hear it.
Well, get your ears fixed.
My ears are fine.
Maybe get Matt Rife's ding dong out of your eardrums.
What?
Giggity,
Why have you
giggity,
been near his dick,
giggity.
bro? What the fuck?
Giggity, giggity, giggity. Man, Luna is on the ball tonight with the producing. She might steal my job, and all my other shows are going to be like, "Hey, get Luna. She knows how to produce." That's some good shit. I enjoy that. All right, Viking. All right, Luna. I think
We
we've
already did the pros and cons part of this. Yep, we're all done.
yeah, we've covered this. I think we're holy shit, I'm seeing all the fucking voices she's put in there. That is
Should have seen the
fantastic.
editor box what she did for the cryogenics thing. She made a picture
Oh,
in
she
there.
didn't. She didn't put it up there, so that's on her.
The editor's
But
box, you said. I don't know.
all right, so Viking, as always, is there anything that you
No. Have
need to discuss? And he comes out of the left gate with a no. Fans, for me, you can catch me tomorrow with the IYH in your house where we do our Sunday house party. That's at noon, and you can be a part of it. We talk about the week of wrestling. We are doing the top 10 wrestling theme songs throughout the wrestling. Anything that pops out there, anything that makes you go, that makes me think about wrestling. You get to be a part of it. So come join us around noon tomorrow with me, Grunmeister, and the concept himself, Alakon House. Outside of that, Monday is another fun day where Grun comes and hangs out with his blue eyes of villainous, and Kevin Calloway joins me with his Chaos Goblins, and we talk Monday Night Raw. It's the Monday Night Raw preview review show where we talk Monday Night Raw. Said it 3 times. Watch out, Beetlejuice. Here he comes. We talk about 3 subjects about Raw that get us ready and get us thinking about what's happening next. And we invite you to join us. And that is 7 p.m. every Monday night on the In Your House channel. So come join us then. Outside of that, there is a thing I do on Thursdays. It's called ECW Watch Along, and it's been spectacular. Last watch along, we had some great fans start joining us, start following us. They became fans. They're part of the household. They're out in the UK. We had a good total of about 6 new fans, and they are rowdy and ready to watch ECW. It's a watch along, so you should come and watch along with us. Me and House, we watch ECW. We watch back in 1999 where we're at now, ECW wrestling. It's getting great, it's getting grand, and it's getting spectacular. So come join us. Me and House will love to have a discussion with you on that. So that's 5 p.m. every Thursday. So fans, friends, anybody out there, you know what this is. This is Conspiracies at Sea. This is me, Viking Storm, and the young Jamie herself, Luna, where we talk about conspiracies. It's a fun time. It's a Saturday night. Join us, curl up by the fire, and we'll tell you spooky stories about what's going on behind the veil. Take that DMT drip and let's see what we're talking about. That's Saturdays here at 8 p.m. So for me, the voice, Joshua Joseph, Viking Storm, young Jamie herself, Luna, we will catch you on the next one. Bye.
Expose people to magic. I expose them to something they're